A Treasure for Ramu by Sudha Murty. Vishnu Kaka's grandchildren had come to visit him. Vishnu Kaka was a very good friend of Ajja's. They had lived next door to each other for years. Unfortunately, his wife Vasanti Kaki had died a few years back. Though there was a cook, his grandchildren Sharan, Suma, and Divya always preferred to eat at Ajji's house, which Ajji also welcomed. With 7 hungry children to feed, Ajji realized telling a story would be a good way to keep them quiet till the food got cooked. Ajji started the story while peeling the cucumbers. So the story goes like this. Did you know that sometimes even the gods in heaven can get into an argument? That's what happened once when Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, found herself cornered by all the other gods. So, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, was cornered by all the other gods. So, they also got into an argument. Together, they accused her of one thing, that she never stayed in one place for too long. No sooner are you comfortably settled in one house, do you desire to leave it, and off you go elsewhere, they said to her. So, Goddess Lakshmi doesn't stay in one house always, which means one person doesn't remain to be wealthy always. She, because Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth, okay? Yeah. Lakshmi sniffed and said, That's not true. I stay in a house as long as I am welcome. If people think ahead, work sincerely, and spend money wisely, I stay with them forever. Unfortunately, often when I am in one place for a while, people behave strangely, and I have no choice but to leave. The other gods pooh-poohed this and refused to believe her. Poor Lakshmi decided she needed to show them proof of what she had just said. Here is what she did to show that she was correct. Remember, many human years make only a second in God years. So, what took years to happen on earth, the God could see in only a few minutes. Okay? So, human years, a lot of human years make together a small year for God. Only a second for God. So, the story is like this. Ramu and Rani were farmers. Okay? They worked hard in their fields and earned enough money to feed their children and meet their other needs. They were not rich and sometimes had to make do with fewer new clothes and not very nice food. So they were poor. Ramu and Rani, they were farmers and they didn't have enough money. One day, Rani was digging a corner of her garden in order to plant a tree. So she loved gardening. As she dug deeper, there was a loud clang. Ting! Her shovel had hit something metallic hidden underground. Something? The shovel hit something. What's that? Excited, she dug faster till she pulled out a large metal box. When she opened it, she could not believe her eyes. It was filled with gold and silver jewels. For a while, Rani stood dumbstruck. What is this? Such a huge treasure. Then she did a happy whoop and ran home with the box under her arm. Ramu, Ramu, see what I found, buried in our garden, she yelled. Ramu was writing up the accounts for the month and for a while paid no attention to his wife. Only when she came up to him and did a happy jig around him did he look up. Imagine how his mouth fell open in surprise when he saw the box of jewels. Ramu also was surprised. Soon Ramu and Rani were the richest people in the village. They stopped going to work. After all, what was the need to work when you have so much of jewels, right? They told each other, why work in the hot sun when they had piles of money at home? You have a lot of money, why to work? They left their small cottage and moved into the biggest house in the village. They had servants who worked day and night doing every small job, so the two did not need to lift even a finger. Nothing they did. Everything they kept servants to do their work. There was a cook who cooked delicious meals, a person to serve them, another just to clean the shoes, and one person to even fan Ramu as he sat on his bed the whole day and gossiped with his newfound friends. Then Ramu decided village life was too boring. Aye, village life is so boring. There's not much things here, not much movie halls, there's not much malls, there's not much fun things happening here. It's so boring here. Just some greenery around and some lakes and all that. It's so boring.
Yeah.
And they moved to a big city. There they had another big house, more servants, and lots of fun at various parties. Slowly they forgot the good things that had once made them a well-loved family. They forgot to work hard. They didn't work because they kept people to do all their work, to help others in their need, or to just be nice people. They forgot to being nice people also. They thought that with money that they could buy anything, and including respect. They thought if we have money, then everyone will respect us. We don't need to do anything. They behaved rudely with others. They spent more and more money on clothes and parties as they did no work at all. The money started dwindling. So only when you work you make more money, right? So
Yeah.
otherwise, if you have limited money and if it gets used up, then finally you will be with no money. They started borrowing from others, which they soon could not pay back. So then they started borrowing money and they couldn't pay back that. One day, Ramu looked sadly at his account book. It was now filled with numbers that showed he only needed to pay others. There was hardly anything left for himself. In a heavy voice, he called out to his wife, Rani dear, the good days are over. I think we forgot to be the kind of people Goddess Lakshmi likes. She has gone elsewhere and we are left with nothing. So the goddess of wealth has left us, he said. Rani stood silently for a while, then replied, Never mind, Ramu, we have learned our lesson. I now think of the days when I would work all day long, go to sleep a tired person, and sleep soundly. I would fall into a deep slumber as soon as I lay down on the bed. Now I lay awake all night. I have a lot of money, but I'm awake all night. I'm not able to sleep. I'm not tired. I want to go back to doing the hard work life, wondering which sari to wear the next day and what to do with our money. I am too fat to even dig, like I did when I found the treasure. Ramu smiled and hugged his wife. We'll go back to our village and to our old ways. We will work hard like we did once, and we will help everyone around us. Maybe that will make Lakshmi come back to us one day. And even if she doesn't, we will try and be happy with what we have. So Ramu and his family went back to their old home, and do you know what? They lived happily ever after. The gods watched what was happening with Ramu and Rani from the heavens as Lakshmi entered and then left the house. They had to agree with her. If the people of the house she entered became nasty, then what could she do except leave and hope they saw the error of their ways? That's the end of the story.